Alright, yo guys, so I decided to go ahead and test something with some Ogre builds and whatnot. I did find out it's something really interesting actually, that might actually be of some use to some players. Um, if you actually use the grenade launcher in particular, this is going to be something that might actually interest you. I know a lot of people have been running a lot of gun ogrins lately, and a lot of people like to have like the extra ammo count and like all that other stuff. But I thought maybe you might want to see this. So, I think a pretty big problem that I've been having is mostly just trying to find a way to have heavy hitters stay up reliably. Um, it's really annoying because the idea is that you need to hit enemies consistently in order to get 5 stacks. And despite all that effort, it never really lasts too long, Just meh. But another easy way to get your stacks, especially if you're running a grenade, monumentally easier. It actually counts as heavy strikes for this. Um, it's really good too, actually, surprisingly. The damage isn't that great, but it's not like the worst negligible thing either. Stagger is actually really impressive. I already did go ahead and try to test this, particularly with one talent. Um, what was it? Crunch actually doesn't work with this, but surprisingly, it gives you the procs for batter. So that's all said and good. You can get your stacks up with bleed, and that by its lonesome, you're actually able to go ahead and use it with some other things. Light in destruction actually pairs very well with this, just due to it. So I definitely say it's a pretty good one. Um, surprisingly, because of this, I'm not even really sure if you really need brutish momentum if you're running grenade. Just due to the fact of how you just get stacked so quickly. And then you could just basically slap about. But I think something to go ahead and note is that because your heavy hits do count for your special attack, um, I think you can also use it with No Stopping Me. And Bonebreaker's aura should be actually modified with this too. It's definitely a weird one. Hard Knocks actually does kind of work with this too, as you have been seeing on the bottom left-hand side. It's kind of alright though. It's nothing too crazy. But I mean, it could be a little bit worse. Although, I guess if you're like hitting a bunch of like specials in the middle of like all this and elites and whatnot, it's not so bad. So yeah, I'd say all in all, it's pretty good. So yeah, I'd say it's actually a pretty good use of it. So yeah. I would go ahead and say it's probably the one thing that keeps a Grenade Ogre in a pretty decent spot. Um, patch 14 just came out about yesterday, I think. So honestly, I think this is actually supposed to be more or less a function of the weapon that you could use with it. Doesn't seem like sort of a glitch of any kind, or maybe like an unintended use. So I'd say, yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and go for it, yeah, it's pretty good. Um, just knowing I probably will be testing this out with some other weapons too later on. But I thought, I'd give those people who actually used a grenade launcher and try to switch it up from like, all the stubbers and the rippers. Um, you guys could definitely use this. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Ciao.